In this video, I'm going to show you how to use long multiplication to multiply 3-digit by 3-digit numbers. I'll do 2 examples, and here's the first one. Use long multiplication to find the answer to 679 times 412. Okay, it's useful to do an estimate first of all, and that way we'll have a sense whether our final answer is more or less correct from using our estimate. And to do that, I'm going to round these to friendlier numbers. So in this case, I'm going to round them both to the nearest 100. 679 rounds to 700, and 412 rounds to 400, and I can do that in my head. 7 times 4 is 28, and then multiply 28 by 10,000, and I get 280,000. So a reasonable estimate, not a perfect one, but a reasonable estimate for 679 times 412 is 280,000. Okay, I'm going to set these numbers out in place value columns. So I've written hundreds, tens and units columns for myself. And then let's write in the figures. 679 times 412. It's really important to set things out very carefully when we're doing long multiplication, because if we don't, the chances are we'll multiply 2 numbers incorrectly. We'll multiply, for example, the 2 by the 4, or the 9 by the 1 at a time when we're not supposed to be multiplying the 9 by the 1. And we'll get a very different answer to the one we should be getting. Okay, so now I'm just going to remind you the order in which we do the multiplying. We start in the bottom right and do all our multiplications using the bottom right number. 2 times 9, 2 times 7, 2 times 6. They're the first 3 that we'll do. Then we'll move on to the next one on the bottom row and do 1 times 9, 1 times 7 and 1 times 6. And then finally we've got the 4, and we'll do 4 times 9, 4 times 7 and 4 times 6. Okay, we can begin. So 2 times 9 is 18. I'll write the 1 there and the 8 there. 2 times 7 is 14. Add the 1 that I'm carrying is 15. Again, I'm going to write the 5 there and carry the 1 down there. And 2 times 6 is 12, plus the 1 that I'm carrying is 13. Okay, now we're multiplying by the 1, which is in the tens column. And because we're multiplying a whole number by 10, it's going to end in a 0. So I'll start by writing the 0. 1 times 9 is 9. 1 times 7 is 7. 1 times 6 is 6. We've done the 2, we've done the 1, now let's do the 4. 4 is in the hundreds column, and that means because we're multiplying a whole number by something in the hundreds column, the answer is going to have 2 zeros at the end. So I'll start by writing those 2 zeros in, that way I can't get them in the wrong place. What I have seen some students do is to write the zeros out here, because for some reason they don't want to include them in that part. And then when they come to adding things at the end, they're adding the wrong numbers. So it's important to get them all lined up in the right place. We've got 0 under the units, another 0 under the tens. Okay. 4 times 9 is 36. 4 times 7 is 28. Add the 3 that we were carrying is 31. 4 times 6 is 24, add the 3 that we were carrying is 27. And now we add them all up. I'll do this in red. 8 plus 0 is 8. 5 plus 9 plus 0 is 14. 3 plus 7 plus 6 plus 1 is 17. 1 plus 6 plus 1 plus 1 is 9. 7 plus nothing is 7, 2 plus nothing is 2. So our final answer is 279,748, which actually is pretty close to our estimate of 280,000. So without a calculator, without repeating it again, without doing the inverse operation of division, I'm going to assume that my calculation for the time being is as close as it needs to be to correct for now. Okay, second example. 503 times 996. starting with an estimate, I'll round these to the nearest 100. So 500 times 1000. Well, that's easy. That's going to be 5 times 1, which is 5, followed by multiplying that by 100,000. So our estimate for 503 times 996 is 500,000. Okay, place value columns again, hundreds, tens and units. Set this out, 503 times 996. Because they're both 3 digits, it doesn't really matter too much whether you write the bigger number on the top or the bottom. If it was, say, 3 digits by 2 digits, let's say it was 503 times 99, then I would tend to write the 3-digit number on the top and the 2-digit number on the bottom. Okay, the more digits it has, that I'm going to write that one on the top. Okay, in this case though, actually the answer will still come out the same, but that's just a habit I'm in. Okay, so 503 times 996. I've got everything in place except for the underlining. There we go. Right, just trying to choose a colour. 6 times 3, first of all, 18. 6 times 0 is 0, plus the 1 that I was carrying is 1. 6 times 5 is 30. Okay, we're multiplying something now in the tens column, so it's going to end in a 0. 9 times 3 is 27. 9 times 0 is 0, plus the 2 that I'm carrying is 2. 9 times 5 is 45. Okay, so I've done the 6, done the 9, now it's onto this 9, which is in the hundreds column, so that means our answer is going to end in 2 zeros. 9 times 3 is 27. 9 times 0 plus the 2 that I'm carrying is 2. 9 times 5 is 45. Okay, you'll notice in fact that it's just 10 times bigger than our previous answer. That's because instead of multiplying by 90, which is what we did before, we're now multiplying by 900, which is 10 times bigger than 90. Okay, now we will add them up. 8 plus 0 is 8, 1 plus 7 plus 0 is 8 as well. 0 plus 2 plus 7 is 9, 3 plus 5 plus 2 is 10, 4 plus 5 plus 1 is also 10, and then 1 plus 4 is 5. So that comes out as 500,988, not too distant from our estimate of 500,000. So again, until I've checked that with a calculator, or unless I do it again, or unless I do an inverse operation and do 500,988 divided by 996, or divided by 503, that's going to be where I have to leave it and assume that that is correct. Okay, so that's the end of that video. There's also another video remaining to watch, which is on multiplying decimals using long multiplication. Okay, thanks for watching.